Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies with Nerdist and Your Bully. I'm your host, Leroy, aka American Kaiju, with my co hosts.
Yeah, this is Eli, aka Gamera.
Deep cut. I think I kind of messed up that first part of it. But anyway, let's just jump right into this bad boy. Just want to say, what are we going to start off with first? Yeah, we are starting off with, okay, we're good. We're starting off with the greatest versus match of all time. And that is the Isley Brothers versus Earth, Wind, and Fire. That happened later on the night. I was like, man, that is awesome. I was like, I never thought that was going to happen. Eli, it was 4 hours. It was the Snyder Cut. I wasn't
I
expecting that.
I don't know what you mean. I don't
I
know what
know
you're talking about.
I know that's okay. That's okay. The folks that know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. Awesome. It was anyway, awesome thing going on tonight. Steve Harvey hosted it. This week award tonight. He was in a purple suit. Some people saying that after the versus match, he was gonna go fight Batman. So, I don't know. I guess. So yeah. So that was cool. Oh, also, even though it's no longer Easter, we do want to say happy belated Easter. So yeah, there you go. Like I said, we're just gonna just flow through this show as fast as possible because we have a lot of topics to get through. Plus one big topic we want to get to. Like I said, we're gonna talk about King Kong versus Godzilla. We're gonna talk about comics, obviously. I want to talk about some video game news. So let's just breeze on past that. So first thing, what I want to do is talk about before we get to that, something else happened here, Eli, in Jackson. So something actually happened in Jackson.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was actually Bruce Willis is in town.
Oh,
Showing
really?
up.
Did you go meet him?
Not yet. I haven't met him yet. So that's why I'm going on a podcast now to kind of put the feelers. Like I'm pretty sure this is going to get to him. Since he's in town and he's getting the culture of Jackson, Mississippi. So Bruce, since I know you're listening, if you're looking for some good food, go to Bailey's. Go all the way down the street. Go to E&L's Barbecue Shack. Don't go on Tuesday. That's when they don't go. They got a different cook there. And if you want the best chicken in town, go to the gas station Exxon on High Street. Don't go on Wednesday there. They have a different person there also. So yeah, that's all. Eli, I want to meet him because I might want to, audition for one of his movies. Be one of the black guys he like beats up and shit. For information.
Does he still beat up people?
His stunt doubles. Somebody get. He was in that. That Death Wish movie, wasn't he? Killing people left and right.
Oh, that's right. He was.
Remember
yeah.
the one that got all the controversy and shit? So
Yeah.
what do we got here? Big monster fight. Hell yeah, 616 man, it is coming. What do we got here? It's slowing down already. Let's see what we got.
Chicken at a gas station.
You are underestimating chicken at the gas station. The chicken at the gas station is the best chicken you can possibly get. Don't underestimate it. So, but of course you got to know which gas station to go to and which one not to go to. So yeah. That being said, can we move right into it? Like that's all I got. I was just flying through those hot pieces. We can get down to the
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so everybody came for the big monster fight. We're gonna talk about the big monster fight. So first, we're gonna talk about is let's see if I can get there. TV, movie. Nope, not that.
Oh shit! I forgot about that.
We may or may not get to it. It just depends on where we go. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so yeah, we watched a movie. We watched Godzilla vs Kong. First thing I want to know, Eli, how did you watch it? Did you watch it on HBO?
I watched it on the TV.
On the TV? Wow. So you didn't, because theaters are starting to open back up now.
I did actually consider going and seeing it. I actually looked at the seating and all that stuff, but there was a lot of people going. From what I understand, this is breaking box office records, like COVID box office records.
I mean, yeah, post-COVID, yeah, because everybody's talking about how much it's beating, Wonder Woman at the box office, but nobody went to the movies when Wonder Woman was at the box office. It was like peak COVID hours around that time when Wonder Woman hit. Nobody was trying to die for Wonder Woman,
Yeah, and I'm still a little weary. I was looking at the seating, and they were the theaters were pretty crowded. I'm like, I don't know, especially in my state. Cases are starting to rise again. You got these variants and shit. So even though I got vaccinated, I got both my shots now. I'm still a little weary. My kids haven't been vaccinated yet, so I could still bring it home and shit. So
because they're saying if you've been vaccinated, they're saying you can travel wherever you want to go.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm still a little iffy on hanging out in a fucking closed room with a bunch of people that I don't know. So I just watched it at home.
Okay, that's the same thing I did also. Like I said, Eli, I know you're the Godzilla, King Kong monster verse expert that we have on the scene right now. So before you go, and I'm gonna let you get your shit off, and I'm gonna let you take the floor. I just want to say what I thought about the movie, and then we just kind of go from there. Because, like I said, I am a novice. I am a filthy casual, so I can only just say what I got from it. So, I watched the movie at home. I feel like this is a movie that should be watched in the theater.
Yeah.
Now I know everybody's saying, "Oh, I don't have to go to the theater because I have this big surround sound with the 5.1 surround and blah blah blah," and it's cool. I'm glad you got that. I don't have that. I have a bullshit, with that bullshit. I'm not gonna say the speaker's name because the speaker will go off if I say its name. But that's what I'm dealing with right now. So and I tried to watch it. Like I said, today was Easter. Well, yesterday was Easter. Tried to watch it at home. When I put the Fire Stick in, since I hadn't used it in a while, there was like this huge update I had to download. So when I downloaded it, was like 30 minutes later. And then when I finally downloaded it, everybody came home. My family was going somewhere. They finally came home. Then my dad's looking at the TV like, why is my TV not on the NCAA game? Why are you watching fucking Godzilla? So I couldn't watch it then. So I only got a chance to just watch it one time. But at the same time, I wish I would have watched it in a theater. But as far as since I did watch it at home, yeah, like I said, as a novice, as a filthy casual, I enjoyed it. I thought the movie was awesome. I didn't see King of the Monsters. I fell asleep on Skull Island, or I may have watched it. I really don't know. Honestly, because that first one that came out put such a bad taste in my mouth. I was like, fuck these whole movies. But this one was awesome because they did what I wanted these movies to do. They focused on the monsters. As far as like the main storyline with the human stuff like that, I gave no shits about what the humans were doing. I know there was a plot. I know it was a story. I did not care. I don't know any of their names. I was hoping, when are they going to die? So when the movie went further and further and it just started focusing on King Kong and Godzilla, they pretty much became the background people. All they did is pretty much just do narration, like Jim Ross in WWE, my God, he's broken in half, all that shit, he's got a family. That's all they were there for, just, giving
That's all they're there for.
No, that's what they're supposed to be there for.
Yeah.
But for some reason, they try to make them the focus, and I don't give a fuck what they're doing. So as long as they're just there just to commentate on what's going on, I'm cool with that. And the fights between Godzilla and King Kong, if that's what you came to get, they give it to you. And there is a clear winner. Spoiler alert for those who haven't seen the movie. 3, 2, 1. Godzilla clearly wins this fight. Like, it's basically, you could say it's like they fight 3 times, Godzilla wins twice. And the first time, very convincingly. Like I said, I was going like, what the hell can King Kong do with Godzilla? I mean, it's Godzilla. And,
especially in the water.
Right, in the water. It's like, what can he do? And it's exactly what you think. Nothing. There's nothing he can do with Godzilla. Of course, half of the plot, through the mid-third of the second act is for a way for King Kong to deal with Godzilla. I thought it was pretty cool. But neither one of them are the main bad guy. Like I said, there's another bad guy on top of that. Spoiler alert. Mechagodzilla, which the internet already spoiled that shit anyway because they just know this stuff. So all that was there. And I'm trying to think. As far as the humans, now I didn't mind them too much on the Godzilla side. I hated the humans on the King Kong side. The humans on the King Kong side irritated the fuck out of me. I was like, you guys are boring. You were dragging out a movie. Get away from you so we can get back to whatever we're doing, or have King Kong or Godzilla, one of them eat you, one or the other. Other than that, I don't care. But yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got. Awesome movie. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 because, like I said, good, strong. If you're looking for visuals, it gives it to you. I'm pretty sure there is a plot, deep lore, mythology. I did not care, so that's my thing. So, all right, Eli, I'm gonna let you have it. You can take the floor, whatever you got. Go balls deep into this as much as you want to go.
All right. I thought it was okay. I guess I enjoyed it.
Oh, wait. You saying I like this movie better than you did?
Probably.
What? Oh, hell
no. I liked it more than King of Monsters. I was really disappointed in King of Monsters. So maybe my expectations were a little low on this one, and maybe that's why I enjoyed it more. But yeah, I mean, the when they gave us the monsters, that was cool. The monster battles were cool. The action was cool. The ending fight, King Kong, slapping the shit out of Mechagodzilla at the end with Kong Mjolnir and all that shit. You know, that was cool. The monster action was cool. You know, and yeah, I mean, and that's what you're there to see. Yeah, you don't really care about the plot. You know, humans are secondary. You don't really give a shit what's going on. They're all these monster movies that basically have the same theme of these monsters are representative of some sort of science gone wrong or technology gone wrong, a warning against humanity, and these monsters wreak havoc on the planet over some is sort of punishment for human error. And that's kind of what the themes are in all these big monster movies, and this one too. And that's all there, and that was all fine. And yeah, for the most part, I was into it. The Easter eggs were there. This plot followed pretty much one of the old callbacks to one of the older 90s Godzilla movies from the Heishi era, where they build Mechagodzilla out of DNA from Ghidra or Ghidorah. Which it was Ghidra all my life until like 3 years ago, when I guess the correct pronunciation is Ghidorah. So that plot is from an old 90s Godzilla movie where humans, and originally Mechagodzilla was aliens built them, but then as these movies went on, they retcon every generation. They retcon these movies, and they start over. Sometimes Godzilla's a good guy, sometimes he's a bad guy, and in one of the movies, humans built Mechagodzilla back in the 90s when they were trying to capitalize on Power Rangers, Power Rangers and Voltron and stuff like that. So the humans created the G-Force, or the Japanese Defense Force, or whatever, like a secret army to combat Godzilla, combat monsters, and they built Mechagodzilla. So that's what this kind of took from that era, which I thought was kind of cool. Them having that skull of Ghidorah's skull. So has Ghidorah showed up in any of these movies? Yeah, he was in King of Monsters, the last one.
Okay, like I didn't see
almost everybody except Gigan, which is my favorite, was in King of Monsters. And my main beef with King of Monsters, the last movie that came out, was they kept cutting away from the fights. You'd see the monsters would start fighting, and then they'd cut away, and you'd see the little Stranger Things girl looking all, oh my God, they're fighting. I was like, I don't want to see you watch. I want to watch the fight. I don't want to watch you watch the fight. That's what that movie kept doing, And this movie kind of did it to some degree, but not as much. We did have those shots
I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it like they cut away.
It was there, but not as much. It was, they did focus more on the monsters, but there were those shots of people looking, the underground point of view, perspective of humans watching these big monster fights.
I actually like that, as long as it's not overdone.
Yeah,
I like it because they're supposed to be big monsters, and from a human point of view, it's just that the other movies just stayed on the humans just doing that, and that's the shit that got on my nerves.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about. I don't care about humans. Just give me the wide shot of the battle. I don't want to see, Godzilla's ankle or King Kong's balls as little Stranger Things girl looks up into the sky and sees the monsters fight. I don't give a shit how much money Hollywood has. Just give me two guys in a rubber suit.
And that's another thing about it, because Hollywood is trying to do everything they can to make these actors the next big thing. So since they know everybody's going to see this big ass monster movie, it's like, who do we have on the table that's we could push to be a big thing? The Stranger Things girl, Paperboy from Atlanta. I always get pissed off anytime I see an Atlanta actor in any big Hollywood movie, because they could be giving us a season 3 right now. But no, they want to be too busy making money. So, I don't know. Hold on before we go past. I mean, that's the thing. You don't really give a shit, about the humans. You just want to see the battle. But we got to see some really cool action, more so than the last movie. Like I said, Mechagodzilla getting his ass beat, them tag teaming on Mechagodzilla at the end was cool, Kong having those throwing hands, if they weren't on the water,
if Kong wasn't confined to that aircraft carrier, he would have slapped the shit out of Godzilla.
But at the end, they fought without Godzilla's atomic breath, and Godzilla still beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, well, that atomic breath. Now all of a sudden, the atomic breath can drill through the earth.
I guess. Well, I guess he took a deep breath when he did it. He didn't just do it. He like took a step back. I guess.
I'll just say that's something new. Like he drilled down to the center of the earth with his breath, and like under him is like, okay, nothing better get hit by that thing, because they're gonna get vaporized immediately. But yeah. I mean, I for the most part I enjoyed it. Maybe because I liked it more than the last movie. I enjoyed it, because it was better than the last movie. But it's still these new. I mean, out of this new GCU or the MonsterVerse or whatever they're calling it, these new American-made kaiju movies, I still think Kong Skull Island is my favorite because that was just monsters fighting every 5 minutes.
I don't know. And I kept coming back to Brie Larson a bunch of times. Too much for me, so that's just me.
Yeah.
Nothing against Brie Larson. I didn't like him cutting the Loki either. Or Samuel Jackson. just give me King Kong swatting helicopters out the sky.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my favorite. This one is probably my second favorite, and then the rest are just
Like I said, I haven't seen King of the Monsters. This one, only one I like. That's just me. Skull Island was whatever.
Yeah,
I hated the first one. So
yeah, the first one was The second, yeah. I'm an old school fan. Just give me the old school Japanese movies,
Because I feel like they didn't overthink it. They kept the plot as simple as possible. King Kong was minding his own damn business. Godzilla just saw him and said, "What the fuck you looking at?" They fight. That's the only plot I need.
I do like the themes that they were talking about in this movie. I do like that Kong sort of represented this, the natural world, nature and humans considered. No, Peter Jackson's Kong was a pussy. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Peter Jackson for a second. We're going to disagree on that one. If you delete the first hour of the Peter Jackson movie, because it's a 3-hour movie, the last 2 hours, awesome. But
actually, if you delete the first hour and the last hour and just focus on when they're on the island, that's awesome.
Okay, I go with you on that. But the third hour is pretty awesome too, with him scaling the building and shit like that.
Where he's ice skating and shit. Kong is ice skating on the fucking.
But yeah, that second hour was the best. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I like the fact that in this movie, Kong was like part of the natural world. He represents sort of like nature, and then civilization encroaching on nature and fucking it up, and basically colonizing his island and throwing him on the res. That's what they basically did in the Kong in this movie. In
all the movies, really. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is like I never really read into Kong that much. I mean, even as a kid, I always sort of knew, okay, yes, Kong is civilization encroaching on the natural world. I always sort of got that. Especially in the 1970s one with Jeff Bridges, where there was an oil company that comes and takes them and stuff, sort of this, modern, technology fucking up the environment. That's what the themes or what Kong always was. But it wasn't until Quentin Tarantino made Inglourious Bastards, where they mentioned that line about Kong as a representative of American slavery and what happened to black people in America. And I was like, whoa.
Honestly, I think every black person kind of just saw that. Which I think why a lot of black people don't like King Kong,
But yeah, then there's that horror noir, that documentary about black people in horror movies, and they like go really deep into like the racial undertones of the original King Kong movie, and I was like, whoa, I never thought of that. So I was like, wow, that goes pretty deep.
Same thing about the white woman taming him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
How Kong is like basically ripped away from his home, brought here in chains, put on display, and then gets fucked over. Once he gets here. Yeah. I mean, my mind was blown after hearing that theory. So yeah, but then Godzilla was always a warning. He was always a warning against human technology, against science gone wrong. That's Godzilla was always, because monsters are always a representation of something, always a metaphor for some sort of human fear or human era, and Godzilla was always, he's a natural disaster, spawned by human fuck ups, you know. And that's sort of there here, you know. I did enjoy that. I did like the little subplots of, you know, they kind of went Lovecraftian in this movie where they're titans instead of, you know, like, you know, Lovecraft, they're elder gods or, you know, the ancient ones. But in this movie, they're
Now,
titans.
was that a thing before, or was it something they just always called them the Titans? Or
That they're calling them titans in this series, in the American, with the Monsterverse, and this new, yeah, they're called titans. But that's derivative from the old Japanese movies. There was always an ancient, like the ancient society that worshipped Mothra, that worshipped Megalon, that worshipped, you know, I forgot Peter Jackson's Kong and Jaguars. Yeah.
yeah. But like I said, his part doesn't matter because he doesn't show up in the second hour anyway. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but there was always some ancient, you know, people that worship these monsters as gods and stuff. And that was going on in this, because that's another thing that Kong was. Kong was this sort of, you know, not so much a god, but he was a protector. You know, he was, you know, that on Skull Island, the people that worship Kong, they didn't worship him as a creator, you know, or as a deity. He was just part of the natural. That's a very indigenous perspective. You know, that there's not so much a god, it's just all about balance and nature being in balance. And once you remove that balance, then everything else gets fucked up. Once they take away Kong, well, there's no one left to protect them, you know, against the other monsters. You know, there's a natural order to things, and that's what you have to protect. That's what, you know, these people worshipped, you know, and gave praise to, you know. So it wasn't so much about creationism or gods or, you know, a deity to, you know, worship. It's more about keeping the natural world in balance, and Kong was an essential part of that, you know. So I dug the themes in this movie, you know. That, oh, of course, then we had what's his name, Julian Dennison, the kid from Deadpool 2.
Oh yeah, he showed up. He was in one of those Taika Waititi movies also.
Yeah, well, he's Maori. He's from Maori descent, and he's indigenous. So, hey, we had a native in this movie, so that was kind of cool. You know,
it was good to see that kid pop up again. Anyway, I was like, hey, good for him to show up in another movie. So,
yeah, I mean, I gotta, you know, give my props every time I see a native in a flick. You know, I mean, he's Maori. He's from New Zealand. He might not be indigenous to this country, but we still claim him. You know. He's we consider them our cousins. Fuck the borders. You know, he's indigenous. So,
I'm surprised you didn't bring up the East versus West thing going on here.
Oh,
with King Kong versus Godzilla. I thought you were gonna go there, but
yeah. I don't know. there was some of that going on in like the original King Kong versus Godzilla back in the day. You know,
or even in the trailers, you know how the American trailer showed Kong beating up Godzilla, but in like a Japanese trailer, you show Godzilla beating up Kong. It was like vice versa, you know.
Yeah, there was that rumor that in theaters they filmed two different endings for the one in the 60s, one to cater to American audience and one to cater, you know, to Japanese audiences where Godzilla wins, you know what I mean? But it's still just a draw. They kind of just said, fuck it, let's go our separate ways, you know. But yeah, I think Godzilla clearly had the upper hand, but it's a Marvel team up. You know, they fight at first and they say, oh, we shouldn't fight. Let's team up and kick the bad guys' ass. So that's what happened in this movie.
You want me to say it? I'm going to say
What's that? What?
This is a remake of Batman v Superman. Like the same. It's the same movie. It's the same fucking movie. It really is. You got Godzilla, the god, whatever like that. King Kong is Batman. He has to find some ancient spear or something like that from the same thing that created Godzilla to beat him, just like the spear Batman did from Superman. He beats him right before he's about to get rid of him and stab him. It flips. They just start screaming and yelling at each other. And this one they said Martha. We don't know what they said in this one. We can assume. We can just fill in the blanks, whatever they said there. Ghidorah, whatever the fuck his name is, he comes back because the scientists brought him back as another bad guy that is from the lore also, just like they brought back Zod, turned him into Doomsday. They brought back Ghidorah, whatever his name is, brought him back as Mechagodzilla. Now they got to team up. They got to fight. Whatever. And they used the same spear they were going to kill the other guy with to kill him. It's the same movie, man. Come on now.
Yeah, whatever. That's the thing
I'm
is like
just saying.
you don't really give a shit. Back to you don't really care. Like I don't
I
like.
don't really
I'm
care, but it was obvious though. It was obvious to me, you know.
yeah. Where's like when they go to like the center of the earth or what's it called, Hollow Earth or whatever the fuck. Like I
Yeah.
like they didn't need to do that. Just get It's
They
like
didn't need to, but they needed to
it's
do
like yeah.
runtime to
I
just
mean
spread this shit out,
yeah, it's like there was two different stories. They had you like you said the Godzilla people and then the King Kong people, and they all went on these two different movies and shit. And
Right. And they had two
and,
different plots they were doing shit, yeah.
yeah, like how I was like, wait a second. So King Kong had like weapons and shit. Then there was was this like Planet of the Apes back in the day where they like smart and shit. Like oh whatever, I don't care. Just fucking punch somebody,
Right. And that's the thing I like about this movie. They didn't try to, and that's where this movie succeeded, where Batman v Superman failed. Because Batman and Superman threw all this geopolitical, religious themes and shit in there and try to cram it down your throat. Meanwhile, in the background, you got the fighting going on. They try to be smart in what it was. This one, they just gave us the fights. That's all they want. We just want to see people just beat the shit out of each other. It's just make.
Yeah, they did
this
the
movie
Jules
was under
Verne.
2 hours. This movie was under 2 hours. And if you do a movie like this, that's all it needs to be. Not 3, not 4.
Shit, the old Japanese movies rarely went over 90 minutes.
Get in, get out. We got shit to do. We gotta film another movie after this. Wanted to get high. Okay, like,
okay,
man.
Yeah. He just wanted to chill. He just wanted to chill on the res in the center of the earth or whatever the fuck. And then Godzilla
was like, we will not have
drilled a pipeline down to the fucking.
If you want to get,
and that's the thing is like okay, we have two different stories now. How do we get these guys to, we need to, it's like fucking an hour in. How do we get these guys to fight? Okay, Godzilla, drill down to the earth with your breath. And
right. None of it makes sense. None of it makes sense. But that's the thing.
You don't give a shit because in the old movies, there's aliens controlling the monsters. Right. There's, spirits coming back. Like, Godzilla's always finding a nuclear reactor and dying, but then the nuclear power restores his life and shit, or he goes to a power plant and gets more powerful with the electricity. It's like, you don't care. Like, sure, just
if you're worried about plot holes in a movie about a big monkey fighting a big dinosaur, you're at the wrong movie.
Yeah.
this is not the movie for you. Go watch something else.
Yeah, I mean, there's way stupider stories in all the old movies, but you don't really care because all you want to see is big giant monsters beating the shit out of each other and wrecking the earth, seeing people and shit.
Right. Now let me ask you this. Okay, like I said, it's supposed to be a movie verse, whatever like that. Where can they go from here?
I don't know. Because they kind of blew their wad in the last movie by bringing, like, they had Rodan, they had Mothra, they had Ghidra, Gigan, he's my favorite. Gigan, the big space robot lizard thing that, like, would kick Godzilla, would make Godzilla bleed in the old movies.
Oh, damn. Okay.
There's always bringing the aliens, because they have a. Okay, I gotta drink some water. They have established that Ghidra is from space, in this new MonsterVerse or whatever.
Okay.
So, I guess, bring an alien, bring the aliens down, have them control.
Yeah, Jake, I couldn't do that. I'm sorry. I couldn't. What would you do? They would just fight again, I guess? I don't know.
If it's just 4 hours of fighting, yeah.
I'm even...
Because I'd do like a Godzilla marathon at least twice a year. Like I will watch. I guess
if you watch like back to back, yeah,
all day, And that's the thing. That's another reason why I wanted to go to the movie theater, because it's not even that. I don't get a chance to see Godzilla movies that much in the theaters, So I'll cherish that. There's only been a few, like Shin Godzilla that came out in 4 or 5 years ago. That wasn't released here,
I think it was just in Japan.
Yeah, but so that's fuck it. That's a Godzilla movie in the theater. I'll go see it. I saw Godzilla 2000 in the theater. They released that here. That was kind of cool. Isn't it the one
where he killed like the American Godzilla or something?
There's one called Final Wars, which is awesome.
Yeah.
It's got like it was supposed to be the last Godzilla movie, and it was supposed to commemorate the 50th anniversary. It came out in 2004, but that's got like every monster from every single Godzilla movie in it, even the one from the shitty American Godzilla with the
Right, because I think I remember like
Pussyzilla or
he was like
whatever.
the Japan made a version of that one and had him killed off or some shit.
Yeah, yeah, as a like sort of a dig at the at Hollywood's Godzilla.
Right.
That one's awesome. That's got like kung fu fights. It's basically Power Rangers and Voltron versus Godzilla, and it's like every monster move or every monster from every Godzilla movie's in that one, and it's a lot of fun. It's called Godzilla Final Wars. Check it out. It's one of the coolest ones. One of my favorites. But yeah, I mean, I just enjoy this shit. I've been a fan of Godzilla since I was even King Kong. I've watched King Kong since I was a kid. I always liked all the movies. Some more than others. The Peter Jackson one, yes, it's all right.
It's all right. It needed to be. If it edited down, that movie would have been awesome. It didn't need to be 3 hours. That's all.
He was being indulgent. Yeah, he just won the Oscars for Lord of the Rings, and
I can just do whatever I want to do.
Yeah,
like, come on,
let's CGI the fuck out of it. And yeah, but still, the original one I think still holds up. Just because there's an appeal. That's the thing. There's the appeal of seeing those old school effects. Just marveling at the old school technology and how they got it to work. Yes, it's animatronics or it's claymation or whatever or stop motion, but there's still an appeal. Like, damn, the technology made it work, and it was still able to make you care. You know what I mean? That's why I'm still a stickler for the old school practical effects.
And plus, there's something we're not talking about. Also, both of these characters are from movies. They're not from comics. They're not from video games.
Yeah.
They're not from TV shows and anything like that. These are movie properties that were conceived from movies, and they exist today. So,
yeah.
I think that's something we need to celebrate that people are not talking about a lot.
Real cinema.
Real cinema. King Kong versus Godzilla. Real cinema.
Where can they go next? There's always a monster. You can always have a monster come fight. Make up one. Have him fight Cthulhu. Final Wars. Yes, 616 man. He saw Final Wars. Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, I mean, like Space Godzilla. There was Godzilla versus Space Godzilla. They started in the 90s. That's like my favorite era. Even though I grew up on these as a kid, in the 90s, the Heishi era, they had, that's where they started updating the special effects. They started throwing a little bit more CGI. Godzilla looked a little more mean. And they had Space Godzilla, they had Biolante, they had Destroyer, they had these really cool, like, looking enemies. Sure, they still brought back Mothra and Ghidra and all that stuff, but they made up new ones, and you can make up new ones. Like I said, bring in Cthulhu, have him fight Cthulhu, have him fight the Kraken.
Just go all out, just fuck it.
Shit.
All right. So anything else we got to add on Godzilla or
I could, but we don't have to.
Yeah, we got other stuff we're gonna fly through also. We're not gonna hit the other topics as hard as we did this one. We just wanted to make sure we got it all out of our system. Now, before we go to this next one, did you see the Falcon Winter Soldier latest episode?
I did, yes.
Okay, cool. Because otherwise I was gonna just fly through it. Hold on, let's see what we got.
Godzilla versus Moby
Dick. Sure, why not? Let's go all out.
War of the World. Like I said, bring aliens down. Bring some aliens. More aliens.
Oh, there we go. Let's see. What is this? Nope. Oh, I ain't gonna talk about that. Oh, that's where I left that.
Bruce Willis.
Yeah, we already hit that topic. Hold on, let's see what we got here. Y'all.
Space Jam trailer.
Are we talking about Space Jam? No, we're not. We're not. Because why? It's a commercial. It's a commercial for Warner Brothers, just like the first movie was a commercial for Warner Brothers, and it to build up LeBron James' brand, like the other one build up Michael Jordan's brand. So whatever. That's my thing. I don't understand why people getting pissed off about that movie anyway. It looks like it's gonna suck. It ain't made for you. It's a kid's movie. Let it go. It's Bugs Bunny. Shit. What are we gonna talk about now? Oh,
Yeah, this ain't Sonic the Hedgehog made for
right,
40-year-olds.
right. People got really this bitch. Like people are getting pissed off of the wrong things, you know. Now,
That
while we're
looks
talking about
so awful. Oh.
boycott Sonic, like really? Okay. Anyway, let's talk about some comic book shit. Marvel, since we talking about shit that people shouldn't be too old to talk about. Let's talk about Marvel. So now we're talking about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the newest episode, which is the Power Broker. I should have put that in, but they didn't. Eli, let's go for it. What you think about this episode?
It's cool. I'm digging it, man. That was cool. Got Baron Zemo. Got to see him rock his mask.
Like Baron Zemo.
Yeah,
this
Baron
time.
Zemo rocking
right.
his mask.
He wasn't a Baron before, but he's a Baron now. You know.
Yeah, shooting people. We got to see some cool action, and yeah,
he had the pimp coat on. You know, I thought that was pretty awesome. You know,
the ending was. I won't talk about. I'll let you talk about the ending, but I thought that was cool. The ending twist. I was like, oh. You know?
And I didn't see it coming. That's the crazy thing. But even though they teased it, I didn't see it coming. But I saw a lot of people, you know, talking about this episode. Some people thought it was slow, kind of dragged up like that. I was like, no, this episode was awesome. It was a completely different, you know, feel from the other two episodes they did. This one's now more like a spy movie. You know, we've had the buddy cop drama, and still that was more like a spy underground. You know, it was written by the same guy that made the John Wick movies. You know, that's why it kind of had that feel to it. I just like that Sam was out of his element in this one because, like I said, he's in another country. This is an element that Baron Zemo knows all too well. This is an area that Bucky knows way too familiar with, but Sam doesn't realize, you know. And I thought this was pretty interesting. Even the fact that, and the one line that stood out in that we said when they were walking, and Sam was like, "Man, why am I the only one that looks like a pimp?" You know, and then Baron Zemo going to, you know, Baron Zemo going to tell him like only an American would think a fashion for a black man looks like a pimp. And I was like, oh, yeah, Sam, shut the fuck up. You know, because he basically tell him that being an American, because as Americans, you know, our perception is limited. You know, we think we're the shit. We think we're king of the hill when the rest of the world is laughing at us. You know, where, you know, like Bucky and Zemo, you know, they're worldly. What do we got here? Him still killing super soldiers and science security. That's what he's here for, you know. And that's the funny thing about it. Like, people trust Zemo more than they trust John Walker. That's the thing. Even though he's a new Captain America, but you start to see more shades of him starting to get wilder and angry and hard to keep it in, you know, because he can't control himself. Meanwhile, Zemo's out here, you know, getting drunk, dancing on the floor and shit like that. And this the guy that, you know, broke up the Avengers and killed T'Chaka, you know, dancing on the dance floor. And people like, hey, this guy's fun, you know. That whole beginning intro when they was talking about, hypothetically speaking, what if, let me just walk you through a scenario. And I already knew that at the end of he was talking, you know, Zemo was going to walk out, you know. I do feel like that Zemo has been completely retconned from last time we saw him. Because last time we saw him, he was like a Sokovian military officer, like I said, he had his own death squad. He was a code breaker, you know, all stuff like that. But they never hinted that he had any underground ties, anything like that. All of a sudden now, he's a baron, you know, with unlimited wealth that has ties to the underground that everybody's scared of. You know, I'm like, when did it happen? But I'm not going to complain because this Zemo is more like familiar with the comic Zemo that we know. Yeah. But it's not like the MCU Zemo which they set up, but I'm not going to complain. It's a thing. It's a thing I just wanted to address. That's all. None I'm going to get bent out of shape over. Something else I want to say about Baron Zemo. It'll come to me later on. But yeah. Yeah, just listen, I just like the way this episode just played out. Like I said, it gave me what it was like it was more gritty action. It felt like it got away from the typical Marvel stuff and like let's dig into some gritty action.
Yeah, I am impressed how hard the violence is. Like I like, whoa, there's some really. I think we have to keep they're shooting. They are shooting and killing people in this show. Right. You know, yeah, I think I'm digging the action. I thought, yeah, it started. This episode did feel more espionage-y, you know, them going to Madripoor and, you know, trying to, you know, team up with the supervillain to find, you know, the power broker and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. I thought it was cool. I mean, I'm digging the show, you know.
And just the fact that Madripoor is in the show. Like everybody want to talk about X-Men connection, this X-Men connection, that. Madripoor is the biggest X-Men connection we've had so far. Like in the MCU. I mean, Eli, growing up, I thought Manchester was a real place. I didn't know it was made up, because the thing is, Madripoor, like it always used to be in the X-Men comics, is where Wolverine used to hang his hat and hang out. I was hoping that there would be just a short dude with an eye patch just walking around in the bar. Not saying they want to tease Wolverine, just like just walk past, just move, go out the way. Did it have to be Hugh Jackman? Could just be anybody, but they didn't go there. I thought, like, man, y'all. Yeah, but I'm not flipping out. I'm not gonna, trash the show because they didn't lead to the X-Men and stuff like that. Yeah, kind of rated R-ish reaction about it. It's kind of. I think we got to keep reminding ourselves this is a Disney Plus show.
Yeah.
Because it's like because remember this is the same channel that has like DuckTales and Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. And then we got this. People. There's a lot of cursing in this show. A lot of violence. Just like whoa, okay, so.
Yeah,
and I think Disney. Yeah, I think Disney Plus is doing that on purpose. They're like, we need some more, mature. Not as far as they can take it, some mature rating as far as we can go with this. They kind of balance out the stuff we have on this show. Yeah, we got Hannah Montana on here, but let's get something to kind of balance it out.
Yeah, maybe they are easing us, lubing us for an R-rated Deadpool, like they say they're gonna.
There's been rumors about there's gonna be a Disney Plus or something else that they're going to
Disney After Dark.
Yeah, some shit like that. So it's a thing. We don't know. Overall, let's talk about the ending. Bucky tells everybody to wait on. He picks up a Komoyo bead. And honestly, Eli, it didn't register me. I was like, where have I seen that thing before? I don't know why they recognize it. Picks up another Komoyo bead, says, hey, I was waiting for you to show up. I was wondering why you didn't. Turns around, it's Io. Io, one of the Dora Milaje from Wakanda. She's here. The same one in the Civil War that said, move or you will be moved. Because I've seen a lot of stuff on Twitter. Like people thought, is that Okoye? That's not Okoye. That is Io. Two different people. She was in all those movies. She was in Infinity War. She was in Black Panther. She was in Civil War. She was there the whole time. Let's see. What else we got here? Age 13 still on the run. Is she connected to the body? So here's the thing. Now, I'm glad you said it, 616, man. Since we don't know who the power broker is and they keep making a big thing about the power broker, of course, the big theory going around that Sharon Carter is the power broker. Here's my thing, Eli. I don't think she's the power broker.
I don't think so either. No.
The reason I don't think she's the power broker is because the show wants us to think she's the power broker. So if they want us to think she's the power broker, she can't be the power broker. Boom. There you go.
Remember, no one's theories are right, ever.
There you go. So if everybody if that's the most popular theory, that means it's wrong. That's how you got to go by. So yeah. So the power broker, I feel like the power broker is somebody we know, but it ain't Sharon Carter. It's somebody else. We'll figure out who it is. Can we move on past that? Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see. What do we got here? I don't know what I'm clicking on. Oh, I don't want to talk. I think that's you. I'm gonna let you talk about that. Nope, we just talked about that.
What movie? New Gods?
Here we go. Yeah, let's talk about the New Gods. Okay, here's the thing. Everybody keep talking about the New Gods thing is that because they just came out with the statement that Warner Brothers has canceled, and I'm gonna fuck the name up, Eli. I know I will. Ava DuVernay. Did I say it right?
Maybe? Something like that. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Right?
I'm pretty sure the comment section will let me know if I screwed it up. And James Wong zombie fish movie that was a spinoff movie of Aquaman have been canceled. Ooh, shocker. Everybody's freaking out stuff like they're like, whoa, why are they getting canceled? That's what WB does. That's what people don't talk about with Warner Brothers. Everybody keep talking about how shit their DC movies are, but nobody talk about how non-existent their DC movies are. They announce all kind of shit. I got a list. Where's my list? Okay. I took notes.
Yeah, all the fucking
all the movies that have been canceled that they announced. First, Cyborg.
Yeah.
3 versions of the Flash.
Yeah.
They had 3 directors, all of them been fired, and they've been completely revamped the movie. The only thing that is the same in all these Flash movies is the actor. Everything else, the script's been thrown out.
Yeah.
Everything.
Like they were about to do it, then there was like a complete page 1 rewrite or something. I remember a couple years ago.
Because they keep firing directors. What do we got? New Guys, like I said, with Trench. Nightwing had a movie coming out. Justice League Dark by Guillermo Doro. What's his name?
What?
Guillermo del Toro? Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro?
Yeah. He had a Justice League Dark movie. Canceled that.
Oh, yeah.
Script is finished. It's sitting in their vault somewhere. Nobody's touching it. Garth Evans, Deathstroke. They were going to do a Deathstroke movie. Ben Affleck's Batman movie. They were going to do a Suicide Squad movie that was going to be a sequel. Cancel that. Just League 2 and 3, the Snyder one, not happening. Sorry.
Joss Whedon's Batgirl.
Batgirl, that's gone. Gotham City Sirens, the Green Lantern Corps, Blue Beetle and Green Lantern. No, I'm sorry, Blue Beetle and Booster Gold. All these movies were now. Oh, and the big one, Steven Spielberg's Black Hawks movie.
Oh yeah,
they tweeted that in 2018 Steven Spielberg was going to make a movie. We've heard nothing about it. So, guess what? It's canceled. You ain't said it yet. It's canceled. Now, here's the thing, Eli.
But they made the Snyder cut, though.
They made the Snyder cut. That's the one thing they able to push out. But we're not even talking
that
about
wasn't even on the list.
That wasn't even on the like. Let's forget about all the movies that we were gonna name, and let's do this one movie that
let's throw 70 million at this shit.
Well, we could have made something else, but no, let's just do that. So, but like I said, DC has, and I'm pretty sure some other movies I'm forgetting also. But that's the whole list of movies that they have announced and just said, nah, we're not gonna do it. But here's the thing, Eli. They're trying to blame it on Zack Snyder, and not Warner Brothers, Twitter, because they're just making up some bullshit out of another. Everybody's saying that the reason they're canceling the New Gods movie is because Darkseid showed up in Zack Snyder, so that the fans be confused. Nobody in Warner Brothers has said that. I've looked everywhere I can. Nobody has said that. This is some shit Twitter has made up. Everybody has ran with it. And that is just saying, oh, that's why they get canceled. No, the movie was canceled to begin with. They just got around and just now telling you. That's all. I heard Snyder fans think because of cancellation, they're getting more Snyderist movies. No, they're not.
No, I mean, after this HBO, after the pandemic and this whole HBO Max thing, and they're taking losses by releasing all their movies on HBO now. So I think they're rethinking their whole entire strategy, what they're going to do forward. Because, and this goes back even to like Dune and the Matrix movies, like, the Dune movie that's coming out, that's only part one. They broke the book into 2 movies and they only got the first one done. They didn't even start the second one movie yet. And they're thinking now that this whole HBO Max thing, it might never even get made.
Right, because they were begging to see how the numbers do on this movie before they can go forward with the next one. So.
And that's what I couldn't wait for. I was waiting for all these nerds to bitch about how boring Dune is.
It's still going to happen. I mean,
yeah. Oh, this movie sucks. It's boring. Oh, Snyder cut. 4 hours. Awesome.
I would watch if it was 8 hours, shit like that. But here's the thing. Don't worry about Ava DuVernay. She's going to be okay because they already assigned her to another project. She's going to make the Naomi movie Naomi TV show for the CW. So she still has a project working with DC. Even though the New Guys thing would have been pretty awesome. Tom King was writing the script.
Is that CW or is it for HBO?
No, CW.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like you was excited. I was looking at your face and watch how excited you were at first. Like, oh yeah. Oh no. Like I need to freeze frame that scene right there. Stages of emotions.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Before and after, yeah.
Before and after. So that's my thing about that. So yeah, HBO, get your shit together. I mean, not HBO, Warner Brothers. Here's the thing though. Like I said, we said last week, Warner Brothers does have 4 movies scheduled for 2022. Eli, over and under, how many of those movies you think are actually going to be coming out in 2022?
How many DC movies or just Warner Brother movies?
Just DC movies.
Oh.
They announced 4. They have. Do you think all 4 are going to come out?
Well, what they got? I mean, I definitely think they're making the new Shazam, right? With Black Adam.
Black Adam. Well, it's going to be Black Adam.
I think that's definitely coming out.
Oh yeah, Ben is getting plenty of royalty check. They start shooting Black Adam, I think, in 2 weeks from now. Black Adam, Flash, The Batman, which everybody's saying.
Oh yeah, the Batman's definitely coming out.
You think?
The Batman? That's already shot already. That's. Oh, you think in theaters or go HBO Max? What are you talking?
I'm thinking period. I'm thinking they said fuck that movie, man.
You don't think the Batman's coming out?
I'm kind of iffy on the Bat. I don't think it's coming out. I don't know. I don't think it's coming out in 2022. I think something's going to happen.
We're making a bet. Hamburger time.
Hamburger time in 2022. If all 4 movies, and
now he wants to go. I'm just talking about the Batman.
I'm talking about all 4 movies. All 4 movies. DC announced 4 movies in 2022. All 4 movies have to come out, not just the Batman. Okay, no, I'll say the Batman. The Batman. If the Batman comes out,
that's a bold statement. You don't
I mean,
think the Batman's coming out?
No, I mean, how hard
We
is
saw
that?
the trailer, man.
I mean, that doesn't mean anything. We saw the trailer of Justice League also. I mean, shit.
But that still came out.
Eventually, like 5 years later.
2 of them came out. We got 2 of those.
Oh, man. So, I don't know. My thing, because I've been hearing things about the Batman movie that just, now, like I said, the sources I've been hearing it from may not be the most reliable one, but I'm just like, I don't know about this movie, man. I don't know. So, I'm saying it's going to eventually come out. But 2022, or is it going to hit the date they announced? I don't know. And that's the thing about this. Like, DC canceled New Gods movie. That movie was actually announced the same day as Eternals. Eternals is coming out this year.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Most of the movies Marvel name, unless it's just some bullshit like Inhumans, most of it comes out. DC
and
just...
even they made Inhumans, only it was on the show. It was on the TV show.
Yeah, that's the whole thing behind it. We're not going to talk about it, because I don't want to talk about Inhumans. But yeah, we can move on past that.
But no, what are the other 2 movies?
Oh, yeah, okay.
The Flash,
the Batman,
Black Adam,
Aquaman 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, Aquaman 2 is going into production, or is it start? I know it's about to start.
I think it's about to start. But they said all of these movies are scheduled for 2022. And here's my thing. The Snyder Cut cult, and I know you think it's me, Eli. I wasn't the one review bombing Godzilla vs. King Kong. That wasn't me.
Well, you said it didn't exist until you watched it 6 times.
I'm a believer now. Oh man. So yeah, the movie's coming out. People the Snyder Cut folks. Shit, I forgot where I was going with this also. I need water myself. Let me see. Lose the train of thought. Oh man. Yeah, the Snyder Cut people are thinking that fuck it, let's move on to the next part. I forgot what I was going to say.
They're thinking they're going to boycott their way into getting what they want again or some shit.
Oh, yes, that's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. Thank you, Eli. Thank you for finishing my sandwich. Okay, so the Snyder Cut people are thinking that they're going to because they've been boycotted. They're saying they're going to boycott DC movies from now on. If DC is going to cancel New Gods and the Zombie Fish movie, I'm done with DC. So you really think they're going to cancel all these movies that they just named, or the Suicide Squad that's coming out in a few months?
Yeah.
They're full of shit. They're not going to do that. They're going to watch all this stuff. So they're going to watch Black Adam and all this stuff like that.
And that's the thing. You know what? It's not like, and I'm not going to shit on them and, oh, fuck them and that sucked and blah, blah, blah. But they could. I mean, if they're giving James Gunn the Peacemaker TV series on HBO, they could totally throw Zack Snyder a bone and give him, let him do some series.
I mean, they did. That's the thing. They did. They gave him 3 movies. People acting like they didn't give Zack Snyder anything. They gave him 3 movies. So he had his shot. He had his chance.
And yeah, they were very, and that's the thing. That's what y'all don't remember BVS, like the shitstorm that.
Like people don't. People just completely forgot about it. They just saw Justice League and just like, oh yeah, he needs to be the guy to just make all these movies. He was the guy that made all these movies.
Yeah, and everyone was bitching. Everyone, hell, like when I would hear you, hey, Leroy, you like BVS? And you were like, yeah, and then you'd yell for 20 minutes. They fucking on this fucking movie. Oh, that fucking BVS. What the fuck? Oh, and it's my favorite. That's my favorite movie.
I love and hate that movie. I love it as much as I hate it. That's the thing. Oh, WWE wants their MCU money. They do. I think they've changed. I think they're done chasing the MCU. I think chasing the MCU is what screwed them up to begin with. So, Eli, there's also another thing going out. They saying it's Justice League, and this may make you happy about Justice League also. There's a report saying that only 36% of the viewers finished the movie in its first week.
I did hear something about that.
Yeah. So
what a bunch of pussies.
It's only 4 hours.
I'm mad now, man. I'm like, really? I suffered through that shit and you couldn't hang, you fucking bitch.
Yeah, everybody else just like, fuck this. But basically, I can understand it.
The majority of people.
The majority of people, the people that don't run a podcast, they just like, fuck this movie, man.
Yeah, the 50 people on, Comic Book Incorporated going, yes! Oh my God, yeah!
Meanwhile, Joe Blow just sitting at home like, I got 3 hours and 40 minutes left of this shit? Nah, fuck this. I'm out.
Shit. Yeah, the game's on. I'm going to jerk off.
Oh, man. all right, let's go to the next thing. I don't even know what's next. I think let's see. Did you wanna
I guess. I mean, I don't know much about I mean, I know of the Monkey King because I watch a lot of kung fu flicks, but I had no idea about Stan Lee's thing that he made this. It was like an unused character.
So Stan Lee just ripped off the Monkey King and pretend like it was his own thing.
Pretty much.
Okay. All right. Whatever.
Like Bruce Lee, like Shang-Chi, you know, like
I'm about to say something real fucked up. That's the most Stan Lee shit ever. We just got canceled.
So Stan Lee had a character called the Monkey Master, which is probably I didn't know about it. So that's why I was like throwing it to you because like, did you ever hear about this thing?
I've never heard of the Monkey Man, but I know of Monkey King. Like I said, it's referencing Dragon Ball. So
and kung fu movies and shit.
Yeah.
So John Woo is set to produce a live action movie of the Monkey Master, based on Stan Lee's character, unused character. And I think that could be cool.
Been around for centuries, but okay, yes, Stan Lee's unused character.
Yeah, maybe he'll bring it back to China, which is probably bring it back to its origins and shit, which it could be cool. I mean, I like John Woo movies. You know,
this is the dumbest shit I've ever heard, man. Like, why are you sticking Stan Lee's name on something that existed for centuries when you could just put that thing out?
Because it'll fucking make money. Slap the Marvel logo on it, and motherfuckers will fucking
right. But I understand. But if they're trying to sell it to China, why would you sell China back something that China invented by slapping Stan Lee's or Marvel's name on it?
We'll put John Woo's name on it then.
I don't know, man. Just this thing that exists forever, made by Stan
John
Lee.
Woo. John Woo.
They just get desperate, man. They just get desperate. They could have slapped John Woo's name on John Woo's making the Monkey King. Boom, I'm in there. You don't have to.
Based on that, that's what it'll be. Like it'll be John Woo's Monkey King, and then it'll be like based on Stan Lee. But here it'll be like Marvel and present
based on the graphic novel. Like,
yeah, Stan Lee's unused property. Blah 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 blah, and then at the end, directed by John Woo.
I hate Hollywood. They just do anything. Oh man, what do we got next? Okay, I'm next. Now we're gonna move to the video game section. We haven't done the video game section in a while, but this got my goat, so I had to talk about this. Okay. Now, MLB The Show. We're gonna talk about MLB The Show. Eli, you're familiar with MLB The Show, right?
No.
Okay, cool.
Is it a game?
Yeah, it's a video game. It's a video game. Okay, so like I said, it's a video game that has been on PlayStation for over a decade. It's been exclusively on PlayStation, made by PlayStation, exclusively made by Sony. All of a sudden this year, it's going multi-platinum. So now it's on PlayStation and it's now on Xbox. However, Xbox is taking it a step further and put it on Xbox Game Pass. You know, so that subscription service they have where it just give you games. Okay. It's going to be on there day one. Like, so a game that last year and the decade before that was exclusively PlayStation, now they just give you MLB The Show. Now, my thing is, what the hell is Sony doing? And also, why is it not on Sony's subscription service plan? Called PS Now. They actually have something to compete with Game Pass that nobody talks about that Sony doesn't even care about. Like, what the hell is Sony doing? I don't know. So I just want to bitch about that. That's all.
Okay. But, is it a good game?
Yes, yeah, man. The MLB The Show is awesome, man. It's my favorite sports video game. I think it's the best sports video game out there. Better than Madden, better than NBA 2K, better than hockey, except for Fight Night. Fight Night was the shit. Yeah. Okay. But other than that, that's it. But they don't make Fight Night anymore, so yeah. So can we move on past that?
Sure.
Cool. All right, so now we're going to move to the next part of the podcast. So like I said, this is the Comic Book Bullies, where we talk about the comic books. And Eli, I'm going to let you go first because you got like 50,000 books. So.
Really? I barely read anything, and I got more.
I thought you did.
Okay. It was a light week, and I didn't even read all the books that I did get.
I mean, it was a light week for me also, but yeah.
Well, should I do? I guess I'll do Beta Ray Bill.
Cool. I almost picked this up.
I only got it for Daniel Warren Johnson.
Okay.
I'm a huge Daniel Warren Johnson fan. I pretty much love everything he's done. For those who don't know, he did Ghost Fleet with Donny Cates. He did Extremities. He did Murder Falcon, which is one of my all-time favorite comic books. You know, I'm a metalhead. He's a metalhead. I met him at a con, and he gave me a Murder Falcon pick, a guitar pick. Look at that.
You never showed that on here before.
Look at that. Yeah, Murder Falcon guitar pick. And there he is and shit. Yeah. I met him at a con. He signed some of my books and shit. He did that Wonder Woman Dead Earth, which was awesome. You know, where, you know, Wonder Woman takes Superman's corpse's spine and uses it to kill, you know, to fight monsters and shit.
Yeah, you said that was the book that was more metal than metal.
Than death metal, yes.
Yeah.
So here he is doing, they gave him Beta Ray Bill. He's at Marvel now, doing Beta Ray Bill. So this is a King in Black. It's a part one, but it does tie into King in Black. You know. So basically we have, I'm not reading the Thor comic right now. But but basically I guess Thor broke Stormbreaker. And
yeah, because he was pissed off at Beta Ray Bill for something.
Yeah. So there talks about that, how they broke Stormbreaker, and but also Thor took off and is doing whatever the fuck he's doing, but he left Beta Ray Bill in charge of Asgard to protect it, basically. And so we, you know, kind of they're preparing for battle. They know Null is coming, and they're preparing for battle. I guess him and Lady Sif have a kind of a thing going on and shit. You know,
he's in love with her.
Yeah, they're kind of flirting and shit, and they're like, okay, after this battle, you owe me a drink and shit. She's like, okay, bet, all right, word, you know.
Hey, she's into horses, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. It talks about how he was cursed. He once looked human, but he was cursed to look like a horse, but I guess Odin gave him Stormbreaker, so at night he can turn back into human. You know,
I guess so. Okay.
So that's what happens. So anyways, they're preparing for battle. Null is coming, and Null shows up in the form of Venom Fin Fang Boom.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, and that's what they fight. They fight a Venom Fin Fang Foom. And you know, they basically, Fin Fang Boom's fucking everybody up, but then, you know, Beta Ray Bill starts whooping his ass, like takes him by the tail and like, whoop, shit, what'd he do? Yeah, takes him by the tail and is like swinging him around and shit, you know, fucking him up, just fucking up Fin Fang Foom. Pretty much almost got him dead, but then Thor shows up right at the last second, you know, and then lightnings him.
Oh, I gotta take all the credit. Okay.
Yeah.
Still in the kill. Okay.
Yeah. Basically gives them the final blow, and everyone's like, "Yeah, Thor saved the day." And Beta Ray Bill's like, "What the fuck, man? I had this shit. What the hell?"
Right.
You know. And Thor's like, "Well, lightning is the only thing that can kill these symbiotes," and blah 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 blah, and all that shit. So everyone's partying, everyone's celebrating. You know, fucking Thor. You know, he's being all douchey and shit. He's like stealing all the chicks. You know, like, oh, Thor, we love you. You saved us. And Beta Ray Bill's like all over in the corner, all salty and shit. And Pip the Troll is like trying to like comfort him and shit. He's like, we know, I know you kicked his ass, you know. And finally they go to Lady Sif. He's like, yo, you owe me that drink. He's like, oh, okay, cool. So then they go back to the room. He starts taking off his shirt, and they're ready to get down and shit. And she's on the bed, you know, like, okay, so you're changing back into human, right?
Oh, damn.
And he's like, well, I can't. I needed Stormbreaker for that, but Thor broke Stormbreaker, and I can't.
Thor's an asshole, man.
I can't turn back into human. And she's like, oh, okay, well, let's just be friends.
Wow, damn, he got friend zone.
Yeah. So he leaves. He's like, oh shit, fuck this. So then he jumps in his ship called Scuttlebutt.
Yeah.
Scuttlebutt or whatever.
Scuttlebutt, yeah.
And then first, before he leaves, he's like, Thor comes out all drunk, just got laid by, just got done in an orgy, comes out like, what's up, man? He's like, you know what, Thor, fuck you. You're an asshole. You broke my hammer. I sat here and protected your world and blah, blah, blah. You're a dick. Fuck you. I'm leaving. He's like, "Yeah, you know, Thor's all drunk talking shit. You know how this is, and blah blah blah." And he jumps on the ship and he's like, "I got to go find my own path. I'm sick of living in your shadow. Fuck you." He jumps on the ship and takes off, and that's to be continued.
Oh man, wait, he left?
Yeah.
Wow, because
Yeah.
Thor's been fucking over Beta Ray Bill for like years. And
Yeah,
he just
he left.
you always look at him like a little brother. He just like, yeah, I'm gonna just fuck you over, man. It doesn't really matter,
But I dug this. I thought it was cool. I mean, like I said, I love Daniel Warren Johnson's art. He's doing art and writing. And yeah, I dug it, So it's
and
a 4 out of 5.
Like I said, he was over at DC, now he's over at Marvel, so he's getting his name out there. So yeah.
Yeah, so cool, man. Yeah, 4 out of 5.
Cool. Let's see if I can follow that up. Let's see. All right. Yeah, let's do X-Men number 19. This is pretty cool because this, like I said, this is Jonathan Hickman's run. Also, this is one of the first X-Men runs that he's doing that is actually a continuation of the story he's been doing, because every other story has been just these one shots that he's just doing. It just doesn't matter. So this is from the last issue where the 3 X-Men, Sync, X-23, who's also Wolverine, and Darwin, they've gone to the vault. And Professor X told me, you go in the vault, I don't know you're going to be there. You're going to be there for a while. Find information how they doing this stuff, and we'll go from there. Hold on, before I jump into this, let's see what we got here. 616. But everybody has a lot of marketing. It was everywhere for a week. Yeah, I should have picked that up. Yeah,
yeah. Well, Daniel Warren Johnson, he's up and coming. Like I said, I've been a fan of him for a while. So it's cool that he's getting some work.
Yeah,
from the big two.
Yeah. So let's see what we got. Okay, so let's go to it. All right, so they're in the vault. The last issue they had this big explosion that they just barely managed to survive. You'll see that X-23 is using her powers to heal Sync, and they're getting a little chummy, getting a little familiar with each other. Darwin can't be killed, so he just keeps coming back just from anything, and they just try to figure out, how this whole place works. So they're dodging and trying to get away from these people. So here's the thing: they have been here already when the book starts for 100 years. They've been here. They don't know how to get out because they're stuck here. Darwin has learned how to evade their sensors, so that's how they've been able to survive for so long. But they don't know how the city is powering itself and what the city is all about. So they keep sneaking in. They get to the center of the heart of it, find out where the power is at, and they find this lady named Madre. I may be saying it right. My Spanish may be a little messed up, but that's her name.
You got to roll the R, man.
You got to Madre. Yeah, that's her name. Yeah. So she's protecting the inside city, and the city is powered by the children of the vault. The babies. That's how the city is powered. So I'm just gonna go past all that. Yeah. Laura chops his hand off to make him think that they got caught in an explosion, whatever. But anyway, they find out what they're doing. They actually get in there. They kidnap Madre. They take her down. They get in the heart of the city. They put their hands on, and Sync can put his hands on the heart of the city and finds everything they're doing. So what they've been doing is that the children of the vault have been evolving. They went from the first level to the second level to the third level. And the reason they keep evolving because they're trying to keep up with the X-Men. Basically, these are post-humans. They're trying to, mutate themselves to basically kill all mutants. But when they find out that there's Krakoa is out there, they realize that even this level, the third level that they're right now, is not enough. If they leave the vault right now, the X-Men will still beat them, So when they find that out, so that now they know how to get out of there, but they can't get out. And I just like this pose right here. Like I said, they've been there.
Damn.
They've been there for like 200 years now. Hey, that's Wolverine's daughter. Eyes front soldier, Yeah, so they're just stuck there, and then they get ambushed. But the thing is, Sync tries to get Laura instead of protecting Darwin. They want Darwin. So they get kidnapped, and now he's by himself. He's the only one to get away. But the thing is, since he doesn't have Laura with him, and he didn't have Darwin with him, he doesn't have his, copy powers with him. So he doesn't have that immortality like they do. So he sneaks out of the building, comes back, and when he arrives, another 100 years has passed. And he's just like, fuck it, I'm just going there. I'm going to get Laura, and I'm going to rescue her, get her out there. They escape. And they just, they, like I said, it's probably been like 200 or 300 years they've been together. So they basically have spent like 3 or 4 lifetimes with each other by now. They are soulmates. They go around. He got the all white beard. They keep stabbing their way through there. And they finally find Darwin. and they find out what Darwin's doing. Darwin is in the middle of the city, and they atomize him. They blow him up. The reason they atomize him because they want his genes or his DNA to spread through all the rest of the children in the vault to make them evolve to the 4th level. So they're gonna pass. So now that they're ready, so now that they see what the hell's going on, Laura and Sync run the hell out of there. But the reason they can't get out of it because there's this wall that they can't get through. But Sync was able to copy the powers. And like 50 years ago, he's able to copy powers of one of the guys that can disrupt, electricity. But if they go through that thing, they're gonna lose their powers. So they go through it, they lose all their powers, lose all their hair and stuff like that. But the other people are still coming after them. They're like, no, and they're like, well, what the hell do we do? Laura's telling Sync, you make a run for it, I'll hold them off. You're like, how you gonna hold them off? You don't have any powers. You're like, you don't have any powers either. And they're like, I love you. I'll die for you. I'll fight for you. Because they basically love each other now because they've been together for so long. So Laura pulls her claws out. Both of them are butt naked. She holds off the. Now remember, she has no powers. So they're going to get her. Sync makes a run for it. Finally gets to the vault. Gets shot down. But before he gets shot down, he makes a connection with Professor X. Professor X, he just said, Professor, can you hear me? Can you download all the information I got in my head so you can find out about, what's going on in the vault? And then the children of the vault on the 4th level are standing over him just like, we want you, before you die, mutant, we want to say one thing to you. We are the new evolution. We're going to kill every single mutant on the planet, and we're going to take over. Not you. And then they blast him, and that's it. He wakes up in Krakoa. Body's been revived. He did make contact with Professor X. Professor X was able to get all the information from him, so he gave him all his memory back. So Sync remembers everything that happened in his new body. However, Darwin and Laura, they don't, because since they never made it out, they don't have their memories on it. So all they remember is what they remember when they went in there. So the thing is, Sync has the memories of like 500 years of, X-23 being his soulmate, being in love with her, dying for her, all stuff like that. But she don't remember him. So he's like, how do I even have a conversation with her? What do I do? So he just stares at her, she sees him staring, and she's like, what the fuck you looking at? And he's just like, okay, that'll work. So yeah, that's the book. This was a very
he's like Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah, just getting fucked over the whole time.
These mutants and gods are just as petty as everybody.
Right. So yeah, pretty cool. I had to read the story at least about like 2 or 3 times, like really grasp what was going on, because Hickman like really threw some shit in there. But I think Hickman is starting to reveal where he's going, because I think he was just throwing so much stuff at us, we didn't know where he was going. But I think he's starting to say, okay, here's where I'm going, pay attention. That's why he's throwing so much stuff in this book right now. Let's see. Yeah, it was a very complex story. I tried to simplify it as best as I could, but I knew I flew over a bunch of shit. But yeah, it
sounds like Hickman. Yeah,
it's Hickman. What do you expect? Yeah. So yeah, all right. So yeah, what you got?
I'll do, I guess, the Ghost Rider King in Black tie-in. Number 1.
In Black.
It was a light week, man. So I just kind of like whatever. So guess what?
What's up?
I know where Mephisto is.
Oh. Is he the power broker?
Ghost Rider got him? Ghost Rider had him the whole time. It was Ghost Rider all along.
Catchy theme song, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, this is like if you don't know, this kind of ties into that new Ghost Rider run where Johnny Blaze was ruling hell, like kicked Mephisto out of hell. He was ruling hell, but none of the demons liked him.
Now, so before you go further, is hell still in Las Vegas?
Yeah. Okay. That's where Mephisto was in one of the other issues and shit. That's where he found Mephisto. Okay. Chilling in Las Vegas. But anyways, Johnny Blaze was ruling hell, but none of the demons liked him. They're like, fuck this guy. Let's take him over and we'll take over hell. Fuck Johnny Blaze. And then a bunch of them left hell, like found a portal to Earth and left hell. Johnny Blaze went to go hunt down demons on Earth with Danny Ketch. Danny Ketch became the Death Rider, or the soul, the corruptor or whatever, the soul corruptor or whatever. So he looks like this big knight with a big giant gnarly sword. That's been going on. So we kind of pick up Ghost Rider found Mephisto in Las Vegas, and he's basically dragging him back to hell. Like literally, he's got him on the fucking motorcycle. He's riding, and he's got his chain, and he's like dragging Mephisto behind him. And but then it's a King in Black tie-in, so then a bunch of symbiote dragons show up and they start fighting. So it's basically just a big action comic. Ghost Rider's fighting the symbiotes. His penance stare ain't working on him. Then a bunch of the demons show up and they're fighting. So it's like Ghost Rider versus demons versus symbiotes. But then Danny Ketch as the Death Rider and the Caretaker and Blackheart show up. And then they all start fighting. And of course, Johnny Blaze don't like Blackheart. He's like, I'm gonna kill you, blah, 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 blah. And then they all start fighting. And during the battle, Blackheart and Mephisto escape and go back to hell. But before it ends, Mephisto, where is it? Mephisto grabbed a sample of the symbiote.
Oh. Okay.
And he's got it, he's like, I'm gonna save this for a rainy day or whatever. And that's kind of where it ends. Mephisto is back in hell, ruling hell. There's some shit with Lilith. They're like, we can't let Lilith take over. She'll fuck over everything. So him and Blackheart are back in hell, and Mephisto's sitting there on the throne, and he's got a sample of the symbiote. He's like, I'm gonna save this for later.
So he's no longer. So Johnny Blaze is no longer the king of hell.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So Johnny Blaze is back on Earth. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. 4 out of 5. It was just a fun, dumb action book. So.
Cool. All right. So next book I got, like I said, light week. I had to dig in the crates of something, so I decided to do Flash 768.
Okay. It was the last time you read The Flash.
Ooh, it's been a while. I think like a Future State book or something like that. Yeah. So yeah, we're just gonna jump into it. Okay, so like I said, doing that DC Infinite Frontier storyline, we learned that Barry Allen wanted, Wally West to become the new Flash. He wanted Wally West to take over. And in this book, Wally West basically saying, "Nah, I don't want to. I retire." They're like, "What the fuck? You can't retire." You're like, "Yeah, I can. I don't want to do this anymore. I got my family back," because his family was erased in Rebirth or whatever that was in the New 52, but now he's got his kids back because the multiverse and the omniverse exists now. So he got his kids, he got his wife. I'm done with this superhero shit. I just want to just go home, be a regular ass dude. And Barry's like, you can't leave. And Green Arrow is now the leader of the Justice League. Why? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's a Bendis thing, but he's the leader now. He's like, nah, if you want to retire, let him retire. You're like, nah, because the Heroes in Crisis shit where Wally West went crazy and killed all the sidekicks, that still happened. That's still canon. So that's why, and he killed Green Arrow's sidekick. So he's like, nah, if he want to retire, let him retire. Matter of fact, I'll walk him out the door right now. Get him the fuck out of here. So they were like, if that's what you want to do, okay, that's what you want to do. But Wally's saying, before we do that, there's one thing else we got to do. You have to cut me off from the Speed Force. Like, you got to make me powerless. And Barry's the only person that can do it because there's got to be another speedster to do it. And while they're walking, people are talking. Now, I do want you to notice this. One of the things that one of the people say is, say, Jim, that's a bad outfit. From Superman.
That's a bad outfit.
That's a bad outfit. They're taking pictures there. And basically, the only way to take away his power is that they both have to enter the Speed Force. When they enter the Speed Force, Barry can cut them off. So they got to race one more time. He's like, "You can keep up, old man." He's like, "I am the fast man alive." Then they take off running. While they're running, they stop crimes and shit. They find some dude and Metallo and Ocean Master and beat the shit out of them before they enter the Speed Force. And now they're into the Speed Force. And right before Barry gets ready to cut him off so he can, be powerless, the Speed Force eats Wally, and Wally turns to ash, turns to dust. Like, that's it. Like, oh shit. So Barry didn't know what happened, so he picks up the costume, and they're in France right now. They ran from Central City to France, So Flash is like, well, I'm gonna take off running, but he's running at regular speed.
Oh damn.
Yeah. So he was like, what the fuck? My powers are gone. Yeah. So basically, and then he talks to the others. So he has to call Green Arrow to pick him up. To take him back to the Watchtower. And Green Arrow tell him the whole time, like, I told you, that shit was stupid as hell. But basically they decided to go and try to find out. So Wally has quantum leaped into the body of a caveman. So his soul is in the caveman, even though he looked like himself. It's like the Steve Trevor shit in Wonder Woman. He's really the caveman, but he's in the Jurassic era, which cavemen didn't exist at the same time as Jurassic. Fuck it, doesn't matter.
Who
Let's
cares?
go. Yeah, who cares? Anyway,
The land of the lost.
the land of the lost, wherever the fuck they are right now. So basically, Flash is doing. He talked to all the speedsters, and all their powers are gone. So the Speed Force is gone. None of them had combination with him. But it's like, so the Speed Force is gone. What happened to Wally? And Mr. Terrific shows up, and he's saying, "I have a theory." Because the Speed Force, because of the Omniverse shit that's been going on, the Speed Force is out of whack. So since Wally is really the fastest man alive, the Speed Force has the strongest connected to him. So the Speed Force has taken him to, I guess, repair itself or whatever. That's that theory going on right now. So, because they're seeing all kind of whack shit going on with the Speed Force, and they're thinking and stuff. And what do we got here? Wally's still walking around. That's when he finds out that, oh shit, I'm a caveman. I'm
Does
not.
he have the intelligence of a caveman?
No, he is him. Like his
Okay,
intelligence.
I was like, ugh, unga bunga or whatever.
Right. And he still has a speed. So he's a super speed
okay.
caveman. So that's pretty cool. But something happens. When he runs, one of the raptors gets speed force.
Shit. No shit.
So one of the raptors, I got this part right here. He was like, before I leave out here, I got to try one thing. So he finds a brontosaurus, jumps on top of him, slide down, yabba dabba do. He was like, I always want to try it. But then that's when he finds out that one of the raptors has super speed also.
Oh,
because he did some weird shit. So he has a speed force also. Barry does some shit where Mr. Terrific has a tachyon something where they're able to communicate with him through the speed force. But the whole time, Wally West is running from a dinosaur, a super fast dinosaur, what you call a Speedoraptor or some shit. I don't know, made it up. Yeah.
Velociflash.
Velociflash. Some shit. It's some crazy name I can't remember he made up, but he runs away from him. But something happens with the dinosaur, and the Speed Force kind of destroys everything. So Wally
the dinosaurs,
because one dinosaur blows up and it keeps blowing up, and Wally's trying to outrun it, can't outrun it, and boom.
Holy shit.
The dinosaurs die. The Speed Force destroyed the dinosaurs. So, yeah. So that is a thing. So while they still find them, they we don't know what happened. So Wally is now in the future. He's in Bart Allen's body, Impulse's body. He's like, I don't know how the hell I got here, but I'm here. He's still in contact with Barry. And Barry like, oh, you in the future? Cool. They have time machines. They exist now. Hop in one of them, come back to us. We're like, cool. But something happens, and a Dominator shows up. If you've seen the CW thing, you know what the Dominators are, whatever like that. So, yeah, they're here. So that's the Flash book we got.
Oh, that's it. Oh, sounds like fucking Slaughterhouse 5.
A lot of shit was going on in this book, man. But this kind of is actually setting up the Flash story that I read from Future State. So it's kind of all the Future State books I read so far seem to be. Even the Batman shit, they kind of showing us where we're going with that story. So, yeah. So, what else you got?
Well, the last book I'll do is Two Moons.
Okay.
Number 2.
Okay. This looked interesting from what I saw. Hold up, before you go. Let's go to the callers.
Oh, Ghost Rider was
fun. Yeah, we just got to continue to be toward. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is Two Moons, number 2. This is this weird horror story that takes place during the Civil War. And the main character is a Native American soldier named Virgil. Is that his name? Virgil or Vern? I think it's Virgil. Anyways, so he's something weird, supernatural shit's going on. He's seeing visions and shit and people turning into demons and shit. In the last issue, his commander, his general, turned into some weird monster demon thing. So he shot him and killed him. But then they're like, hey, all the other soldiers come around and they find, this Indian soldier just shot our general and he's back to human form and shit. So they're basically, this picks up right there. They're about to hang him or have him court-martialed. So they got him all tied to a tree and shit and talking about they're going to hang him and all that shit. And, being all racialist and shit, you know what I mean? But then, at night, before that happens, he has some weird dream where Coyote shows up. And Coyote looks all weird, like a skeleton, looks all weird and creepy and shit, which is kind of weird. I don't know. White folks interpreting native tradition shit, and then he wakes up and he gets freed by some Confederate soldiers come and free him. Like, fuck up the camp, take him, like, come with me if you want to live. And they basically take him, And then he has some more weird dreams about, shit happening. And then he ends up taking one of the horses and takes off. And that's about it. It's weird. It's just a weird story. Again, I'm only reading it at obligation because there's a native character in it. But it is weird. I mean, the art's cool. It is like I'm trying to, like, what the hell is really happening? I'm not quite sure what's happening. It's just all this weird, ghosty, supernatural shit happening. He's seeing visions, and is he going crazy, or is this really ghosts or something? I don't know. So I'll give it a 3 out of 5. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so last book I'm going to do, and I'm thinking about should I even do this book. Okay, like I said, slow week. I had to dig in the crates. So what I did was Avengers.
I almost got that.
Really? Okay.
I almost got it, yeah, because it was a slow week.
It was a slow week, so I guess I do. It was really between this and Beta Ray Bill. I think I made a bad choice, but whatever. So, yeah, I'll just go through this book, just say what happened. Like I said, this is the 50th anniversary of Man-Thing. And so,
okay.
Did I do this right? I did not do this right. Anyway. Yeah, but okay, so the bad guy of this book, okay, remember the horticulture, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so the horticulture are the bad guys of this book. But that's what I was trying to do. Okay, so the horticulture back in this book, but the main bad guy of this book is actually their niece, Harriet. You're not sure. Okay, for those who don't know who the horticulture is, the horticulture are new X-Men villains. And we all know about Magneto, and we know about Mr. Sinister and Apocalypse. These aren't them. This is like 3 old ladies. Let me see if I can get to them. Yeah. I don't know if you can see it. Yes. Okay, so yeah, that's their mean-looking niece. Yep, there we go. Okay, we see it. Okay, so that's their mean-looking niece. Her name is Harriet, but she calls herself Harrower or something. So that's the thing. So it's all Golden Girl-looking chicks. Yeah, that's them, because they're so good at, like, botany and shit like that they know how to, like, hack into Krakoa and just, like, make teleporting gates, whatever the fuck, it doesn't matter. Anyway, yeah, they're mad at their niece, Harrower or Harriet, whatever her name is, because she has taken what they've learned and she mixed in magic. And they're like, no, you don't mix the two. You don't do that. That's how you fuck shit up. You do one or the other. You don't take our shit and pervert it with magic. She's like, I would do that, and I would do this with one person that is a perfect combination of both. Man-Thing. And she takes Man-Thing. Why Man-Thing? I don't know. It turns out Man-Thing, for those who don't know what Man-Thing is, he was trying to make the super soldier serum thing. He becomes a swamp creature.
Man-Thing.
Yeah, Man-Thing. That's the thing. So anyway, man, fuck this book, man.
And then he burns people up.
Oh yeah. If you're afraid of him, if you have fear.
Those who fear the Man-Thing.
Those who fear the Man-Thing.
Whatever,
so
yeah.
she fights Man-Thing. She's not afraid of him. That's why, he can't hurt her. She punched him in the nuts, I think, or something. I don't know what the fuck happened here.
And his Man-Thing.
She punched him in the Man-Thing. I didn't think about that. McFly.
Boom, boom.
Anyway, she rips him in half or something. I don't know what the fuck happened. She rips him in half, and she takes his body, and now she can, like, produce like Man-Thing trees all over the world. So Man-Thing trees all over the world, and they burn anybody that comes to them. T'Challa assembles the Avengers, and he forms the teams. Captain America, She-Hulk, you can do this. Thor and Black Widow, you can do that. And they go do that. Avengers assemble. Blade. Oh yeah, I forget Blade's on the team. Yeah, Blade, you go do what you do.
Kill vampires.
Yeah, there are no vampires. You're welcome. So in the middle of the fighting, Captain America actually gets absorbed by one of the tree things. So he goes into, like, the Man-Thing's dream world, and all his enemy Captain America show up. So you got Nuke right here. You got anti-Captain America and Red. Who the fuck? Anyway, Captain America beats shit out of him. Some dude shows up, helps them from beating up Captain America. They beat him up, and it turns out this is the original guy, this Man-Thing. I know I sound like a filthy casual right now. I don't know who Man-Thing's secret identity is. Honestly, I don't really care. But
he's been all over the place.
I guess. I don't know.
There's been a few of them, I know.
Oh, Dr. Ted Sallis. That's Man-Thing.
Yeah, that sounds right too.
I guess whatever.
I think I think there was an old book where they made him native or part native, and because he was in the swamps. So, why?
This
Why?
guy, or did he get possessed by, or did he possess somebody else?
I don't know. I just remember like they tried to tie you some native shit, and there was a movie they did the same thing.
Did he? Okay, all right. So yeah, he's talking about like, yeah, she took the man thing, and she is possessing him and took him from my soul, but he put you in here before he did that. And Captain Marvel actually touches one of the trees, and she catches on fire. You're like, what are you afraid of? But I'm afraid I couldn't hurt anybody. But her power is absorbing energy, so it didn't do shit. Just make it stronger. Yeah. So basically, that was for nothing. And yeah, Captain America basically saying, you got to do this, and he's saying that he was the one that created the Man Thing formula. The end. I guess this is the first Man Thing book I've ever read. It will probably my last. So yeah, that's that.
The art looked pretty cool. That's why I almost got it. The art
was cool, and the story wasn't bad. It's just I don't give a shit about Man Thing. That's all. Let's see what we got here. Great story.
Ghost Stories and 50th anniversary.
I saw the Landfill Studio inside for level. He's
barely. I saw that movie.
Okay, exactly what you just said. Yeah,
there was a native subplot. Yeah, there was like there's some natives on. It was like on the res or whatever. It was like the swamp res and shit.
Yeah. Now here's the thing: if Man Thing sounds familiar to Swamp Thing, there is a reason for that, because the creative Man Thing and the creative Swamp Thing, like I said, Lin Wing and I can't remember who made Man Thing. They were roommates at the time, so Man Thing and Swamp Thing appear in the comics like a month in between each other. Like boom over here, boom like House of Sweet Secrets over here, Tales of Suspense over here. Nobody knows who made who, but they pretty much had the exact same powers, the same thing, and all that stuff like that. So nobody sued anybody who like, well, we don't know who did what, but they, whatever.
Only Man Thing burns people up.
Yeah, that's the difference. So I'm gonna go with Swamp Thing. It's not like a more interesting idea. Man Thing just never evolved. I mean, Swamp Thing had Alan Moore. What is Man Thing?
I mean, Man Thing looks cool. But
Man Thing is known for one thing. And that's introducing Howard the Duck. That's it. That's the only reason he's a thing. Oh man, shoot. What else we got? I'm booked out.
I'm booked out. I mean, I got some more shit. I just didn't read them yet. I was being lazy and I fell asleep.
A slow week.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna ramp up towards summertime. But right now, nothing's been coming out. We've just been scrambling.
Yeah, like I didn't read. I got the next Batman. I didn't read it yet. I got that new crossover that everybody loves. I didn't read that yet.
Everybody loves except you.
Yeah. I think it's all right. I'm not, it's hard to commit. You know what I mean? Comic books are like relationships. You gotta commit.
It's a masterpiece, Eli. So comprehensive. Oh man. Like I said, next week we'll come up with something else. I don't know what's coming on down the pipeline. We'll go from there. Until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same bullet time, same bullet